coming to you in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, and salutes unto the Akim that continue to push the word in truth and in sincerity. Coming back at you with this quick video lesson and update. It's currently the 13th of September 2019, year of Karagma. Here in England, it's 7 o'clock in the afternoon. And the sun will be going down in the next 20 to 30 minutes, coming to the end of the Sabbath. And earlier, I did a live video. Then I was eating some lunch, and I turned the TV on and I saw a movie on Sky Drama entitled Mary Magdalene. So I said, okay, Mary Magdalene. I looked at the little description, and it was a biblical movie. So I said, okay, I can watch this on the Sabbath. And it was intriguing to see what next Esau would do with the biblical account. So I got watching about half of the movie, and I got bored of it, decided to, go and study. But for what I did see, it was utterly appalling. This destructive to the truth, an abomination, and nothing short of what you would expect from Esau in his directism movie realm anyway. And pretty much in the movie it was that highly inaccurate according to biblical accounts. Mary Magdalene pretty much in the movie was an active member of the 12, if you will, the disciples, being baptized. And in the movie, the Edomite who played, I forget his name, who played the Messiah or Jesus, baptized Mary Magdalene. The Lord didn't baptize people. The Lord himself didn't baptize people. But they had Jesus. I don't like saying, but Jesus baptized Mary Magdalene in the movie, which was quite appalling. And she was an active member of the 12, literally living and following the 12 along with us wherever the Lord went in the movie, which was quite alarming. And then I went on YouTube, as you can now see on screen, and I actually, did I share the screen? Let's just go back to StreamYard. Yeah, I did share the screen. So on YouTube, I looked at a movie review. The movie, by the way, came out in 2018, and this dude was doing a movie review. And as I was watching I got 3 minutes in, and he said he's not a Christian, he's not a believer, he doesn't necessarily believe in God. He wouldn't call himself a hardcore atheist, but he just is neither here nor there when it comes to the idea of God. Fair enough, mate, you're an Edomite, it's expected. But he was saying that he made some sort of connotation or reference, I should say, rather, to the alignment of Catholicism and the Pope's decree that Mary Magdalene shouldn't just be looked at as an adulterer, but somebody who the Pope gave the title to the apostle of the apostles. And in the movie review, when this guy said that instantly struck alarm bells and red flags in my mind. And I said to myself, right, let me do a little bit of research into if this is actually the case and get some clarity and some insight into if this is actually or if this was decreed by the Pope himself. So I've gone onto the site here, as you can see on screen. It says summary of bulletin. Mary Magdalene And to my shock and horror, this is actually an official decree. It says Mary Magdalene, apostle of the apostles. This was decreed on the 10th of the 6th, 2016, which is 3 years ago, but I wasn't sure of this. I wasn't aware of this. And it says Vatican City, 10th of June, 2016, has expressly wished by the Holy Father, the congregation of the congregation for divine worship and the disciple of the sacraments has published a new decree dated on the 3rd of June 2016, Solemnity of the Sacred Hearts of Jesus, by which the celebration of Saint Mary Magdalene, currently obligat- obligatory memory, will be elevated in the general calendar to the level of a feast day. So they've not only given Mary Magdalene her feast day, which is a demonic feast, nothing to do with the scriptures. Okay, the feast days which you were given are expressly depicted to us and instructed within the Torah, the law. Okay, and all the other feast days that we have on top of that are in the scriptures. Okay, like the Hanukkah, uh, as an example, the day of Simon and uh, Nicanor, and so like I forget how to call it, but the day of Simon and all these other days, they were within scripture, but the main feast days and holidays and high holidays were given in the law. Okay, and it says the Archbishop Arthur Rouchet, secretary of the Congregation for Divine Worship, and a disciple and a discipline, rather, the sacraments explain the meaning of the decree that would enable Mary Magdalene to be celebrated liturgically like the rest of the apostles. Okay, now the apostles aren't meant to be celebrated anyhow. That's just some Catholicism kerfuffle nonsense. But they've clearly put Mary Magdalene uh, on the level of the apostles. There is, as the title says, Mary Magdalene, apostle of the apostles, somewhat, leading to the connotation that she is the head apostle, which is absolutely absurd, you know, okay? Because the scriptures clearly tell us the order of the apostles, at least the head apostle, anyhow, you know. And Mary Magdalene is not an apostle. I could go on and read this demonic document, issued by the Roman Catholic Church, but I won't. We get the point. They've clearly made Mary Magdalene an apostle in their eyes, demonic eyes. Okay. Now I've gone on Google and typed in Mary Magdalene. It says Mary Magdalene, sometimes called simply the Magdalene or the Magdalene, was a Jewish woman who, according to the four canonical Gospels, traveled with Jesus as one of his followers and was a witness to his crucifixion, burial, and resurrection. Now, she was a follower. Okay, there was a great multitude. There was 12 disciples, or even within the 12, there was the order. And then you had an extra 70 and other followers, disciples, if you will. And yes, Mary Magdalene was a follower. She was a believer. She, in fact, had a direct encounter with the Lord. Okay, she was on the scene, rightfully so, as it says here in this little write up by Wikipedia. Um, you know, uh, she was there at the crucifixion and burial and the resurrection. Indeed, true. So she was a follower. We won't take that from Mary Magdalene. It's expressly given and depicted throughout the scriptures. However, her apostleship, or even going as far as saying a disciple, is a bit off, you know. But her apostleship, that's completely and utterly not the case. Now we're going to get some clarity on some words through a couple of examples through the scriptures. Now let's go. Spare me 1 second. This is the book of Matthew, Matthew 27 and 57. Now the reason I bring this out is because of the context in which the word disciple is used. Matthew 27 and 57, it says, when the evening was come, there came a rich man of Arimathea named Joseph, which in Hebrew is Yawasap, who also himself was Jesus's disciple. So now we've got the context of the word disciple in this case, that a disciple meaning he was a disciple. Okay, not describing the disciples, but he was by title a disciple. Now if we go to the word disciple, G3100, uh, Matteo, however you pronounce that. And it says here, instruct, to be disciple, to be a disciple of one, to follow his precepts and instructions, to teach, to instruct, or it should be to be instructed, which is fairly on point. So if we go back to the main case, we're no longer dealing with Joseph, but if we go back to the main woman of topic, Mary Magdalene, was she a disciple? By the definition of the word, yes. Okay, because she followed the Lord along with a host of women, you know. But in terms of the Lord breaking things down to her and her being a part of the 12 and even the apostles, clearly not the case. She was a follower, okay? And as it says here, to follow his precepts and instruction.